Today I'm going to be talking about basically the four mistakes that beginners do when they start a workout program. I'm going to be dissecting it into four different sections: jumping in without a plan, overcomplicating nutrition and training, ignoring recovery and lifestyle, and focusing on short-term motivation rather long-term goals. Right off the bat, something important about you starting a workout program. If you're a beginner who has just started working out, and you need to create a workout program, something that's very important for you to know. Jumping in without a plan is simply, I would say, time wasting, right? If you go to a university and you're trying to graduate as an engineer, if you don't have a structure, a correct plan from A to Z, it's going to be very difficult, near impossible, for you to achieve goals that you want to achieve. Most beginners copy random workouts from social media or fitness gurus that be like, oh, just do this. Most of the times you need to actually talk to someone who's a professional, either a certified personal trainer or a fitness nutritionist or even an experienced lifter, whatever that gets your plan going. So make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a plan that not only is executable and simple, but also shows you that, all right, if you do or these exercises over this period of time, by the end of the week, you're going to lose X amount of fats and you may lose X amount of muscles. So it's very important to have a plan. Gets me to number two. When you have a plan, do not overcomplicate it. People easily get overwhelmed by saying losing fats is super hard or getting into an actual habit is really difficult for you to maintain. Dissecting your plan into a very executable steps is going to take you a long way. Not only you won't get overwhelmed by the amount of steps you have to do, also it would be steps that can be executable day by day. When you're trying to achieve a goal, you do it step by step. You can't just jump from step 1 to step 10 and expect that it's going to work out just fine. There's always going to be consequences, right? So beginners chase the perfect diets and supplements or advanced workouts splits before mastering the basics. Listen, man, when I train my clients, almost always the first 2 to 3 weeks are simply just showing up. That's all you need. You just need to go to the gym and show up. Show up and do the full body workouts, show up and do the exact workouts for your body to gain the balance it needs to go to the next level. When you jump the gun and you start lifting heavy weights on your body without really training for balance, what tends to happen is injuries rise drastically. You might injure a shoulder, you might injure a chest or a back or whatever the case may be. And then you're going to have a problem much worse than when you started. So make sure you don't overcomplicate the plan, but also make sure there is one. Which gets me to number 3. It is ignoring recovery that you need. Your body is a temple. Your body needs recovery. You're not a robot. As a matter of fact, even robots require maintenance, but that's aside from the fact. If you are working out, if you are putting loads on your body, you need recovery. Now, this recovery may look in many different ways. It could look like taking a day off. It could look like active recovery, such as doing saunas or doing cold plunges or doing massage guns or stretching, dynamic stretching, static stretching, depending on what kind of workouts you hit. If you are doing strength training, you definitely need to do dynamic stretching before you start and static stretching after. Make sure you don't do static stretching before working out, because static stretching, as in, I'll just give you a simple example. This is a static stretch. If you do static stretching before working out, believe it or not, you actually may increase the probability of you getting injured. What you need to do is dynamic stretching. For example, let's say you have a chest day. how can you warm up or how can you stretch for a chest day? You warm up and stretch with the same exact exercise that you start with. If you have a seated dumbbell press, you start with a seated dumbbell press but with very light weights. If you usually lift with 60-pound dumbbells, you start by 20-pound dumbbells and you simply give a full range motion, 1 or 2 sets as warm-up sets. So beginners think that results only come from pushing harder, but in reality, recovery fuels growth and fat loss. I also shall include sleeping is so important. Get your sleep, man. If you're not able to get full quality sleep, I'm talking about 7 to 9 hours. If you can only get 6 hours at night because you're someone who works a lot, make sure you take naps. Make sure you take power naps in between. Make sure you do like 30 minutes to an hour nap throughout the day. They go a long way in your recovery process. Gets me to my fourth point, which is focusing on short-term goals rather than longer ones. If you are a natural lifter, if you are natural, you're not taking any enhancements, you're not taking any PEDs, you need to be patient. Just like growing a business, just like getting experience in your job. You need to chill, bro. You need to relax. If you have a 30-day goal to lose X amount of fats, extend it. My workout plans do not go less than 90 days for you to start seeing results and start accumulating these habits and start accumulating these pounds, right? Make sure you don't chase quick fixes. Make sure if you're going for a summer body goal, you need a good bit of time depending on how much fats you got on you. For example, I am 260 pounds, 6 feet. If I need to be about 220 pounds, if I need to lose 40 pounds, I need a good amount of time. I will give myself at least 6 to 9 months for me to achieve that goal if I want to go slow and steady. If I want to be aggressive, I might lean towards the 4 to 5 months, but definitely stay patient and just work on yourself. Just let the days accumulate. That's all I'm going to say. With that being said, if you are ready to achieve your dream body, if you're ready to shed the pounds that you've been always wanted to shed, and you want to get a nice summer body, or if you want to reach a fitness goal that you've never reached before, there's a link below. Come have a chat with me and we see if we're a great fit in my workout program. Currently, there's still 20 spots left. Again, my name is Danny Faraj. I'm an engineer and a personal trainer. With that being said, thank you guys. Peace.